Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Space Engineers. I'm your host, Quantum Tater. Quantum Tater, say hello. How is everybody doing today? Last time on Elder Dagron Does Space, we beat up some enlightened, heavily quoted enlightened guard. We beat up some pirates, some sprites, if you will. And we had an unfortunate OSHA incident with clone number 36. So, things happen. Not last episode. That didn't happen last episode. That happened this episode while I was doing some... Oh, what do you call it? This looks like it's not centered up, right? Is it not? Oh, it's not. Yeah, let's see if we can't fix that. Clone 36 had some issues, and so he, you know, he got there was a minor OSHA violation, and well, he got. Chad continues to harass me about my ADD and my squirreling, and that the graboid should just be called the squirreloid. No. The grabby squirrel, because I forgot that I got out and parked him. As you can see, the no-name ship is coming along quite well. I managed to get some more processes. That's what's happening right now. Our system is processing tons and tons of materials. You will see here in a second probably quite a little bit of interjections of me mining various different things. I might even do a voiceover to see how cool I can be. But yeah, that's what's happened. We have acquired some materials. A little bit of Ukrainium, a little bit of gold, a little bit of cobalt, a lot of bit of iron, and now we wait. We play the waiting game. Why, yes, that's right. Take a look at Quantum Data getting iron. Sweet, sweet iron. For all to love and enjoy. And here Quantum Data deposits the iron inefficiently. Because it was so inefficient, this is where Quantum Data realized that having an event controller that closes the airlock door the moment you dock, and undock means that using the back door isn't quite appropriate. Insert joke here. Why, yes, that's correct. Platinum. We're getting platinum. For all you folks at home, that's for thruster components. Why, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is Quantum Tater getting gold. I like gold. Popularized by Goldmember in the Austin Power franchise. It's here we see our hero gaining the power of cobalt. You're not going to believe this, but this is also where we get additional iron. Because we didn't have enough the first time. Here's one minor OSHA incident later. This is number 2 for this mission. Build a base to last the night. Asteroids drift, but I hold
In the silence of space, I'm built to last.
And finally, for our dear friend Lord Chaos, some more Ukrainium.
But I'm prepared. Cargo full, refineries hot. Scrap to steel, give it all I've got. Meteor storms and pirate raids. Thrusters fail, but
I actually might need to go in here. When I started this episode, I also had to do a slight refit. It turns out none of this had been completely finished with regards to this space. And we also had a minor incident, which you'll notice why that's blue, because something happened. It wasn't me. I don't even know what this looks like. Turns out I don't have a blueprint for this ship, by the way. That's dumb on my part. But it is a part that has happened nonetheless. So, we do what we got to do. I think the thing that we need next, if I had to take a look at all the stuff we got going on, I would say we probably need a fair amount of ice. So that's going to be what we do here. We're going to see me mine some ice here in a second. Let me... Oh, wrong button. Let's press this button here. I should just stop this. Stop. Stop doing anything. I should run that one. That's accurate. We're venting. We're starting. The door is opening. Beautiful. Now, last time I disconnected this, it was still full of ore because for some reason the system wasn't pulling. I don't really know what that's about. So let's see if... No, we're empty now. Beautiful. All right, we're going to get ourselves some ice. Where we might get that ice from is an excellent question. I'm thinking we just start digging out from under the Elder Dagron while all that's processing. I know we've got probably some pretty close to full tanks, but I doubt we have full tanks entirely. I'm not sure how much I'm going to leave on with regards to how much of the nonsense mining I did, but we'll get a quick little time lapse right here of me mining more ice, because in a world full of ice, we just need more ice. You know what? What I could do, if I wasn't in the process of building a ship, I would build a system that just drills from our base and imports the ice directly into our base hole. That would probably be a good idea. I'm not going to do that, honestly, right now. We're just going to drill the old-fashioned way with this here GDC. It's been a faithful machine, so might as well keep using it, keep up the utilization. I forgot we didn't... Oh, we do have one large cargo container. I was like, I thought we had a small one on the back or another, but we just have a medium and a large. Still holds quite a bit. Still does the job all right. I brought back tons of stuff. As you can see, I've got my marker. Thank goodness for the Malafor. I didn't have a full tank, but it did what it did have is a jump drive to get me from point to point, so I did not have to race across the galaxy. So the hours and hours and hours of mining was reduced pretty substantially by just simply not having a problem. As you can see, as I said before, this collect all, turn on and off, and throw out all, turn on and off. Something's happening. The game has been crashing pretty frequently. I actually said this to John in the comments. I was lamenting that something... I think I installed a hostile takeover mod, and the game has been crashing. I uninstalled it, and the game still appears to want to crash pretty aggressively. I don't know what's going on with that. It's kind of frustrating. It just freezes up, and it doesn't actually give me an in-program screen or anything like that. It just... bleh. And freezes up to the point like I can see the screen, I hear the sounds, I can see my mouse move around, but I can't do anything. I can't close out, I can't, nothing. I can do nothing. So, I'm not really sure what that is or what's going on there. I think, therefore I am, so I'm not really sure. We're gonna, but that's okay. We don't really need to worry about it too much, I don't think. We can just... I've just been saving kind of frequently. Now that I'm back, I should probably save again, just in case the game decides to crap again. But the last one was I was mining uranium, so I had to mine uranium twice. And I gotta say, that's as fun as you could imagine. I'm noticing an interesting thing I didn't know down here below. What's going on with this? Huh. That's interesting. I wonder why... I wonder what... I don't remember why I made that change there, but... Well, there you go. That's fixed. Yeah, there's a couple of pieces in here that I didn't clean up and finalize on this thing, so that's probably a lot to do with some of these weird hiccups with what's looking like stuff. Might as well save again, just in case. You know how it is. Game crashes, losing progress is more frustrating than getting blown up sometimes, I think, just because it just is. So, let's go ahead and get this popped into the dear old Malifor. I think this is what happened last time, is there was too much speed carried through my docking procedure, and it just popped the container. I think the only noise I made was an audible grunt of irritation. So, there we go. Get to work. I like how immediately that closes. Well, I guess it doesn't have to vent anything, so it makes sense that it would be more immediate. But yeah, um, that's kind of that. I think, a couple of mining spurts, little things like that. The graboid appears to be completely repaired. I will say, or the grabbin, not the graboid. Oh my gosh, tremors. There's a throwback. I will say that because I blew the entire container up, I'm going to have to go in here and re-put that on. So what is that? Stockpile on. Stockpile off. I don't know if there's another event we had any. I don't think anything else got. Yeah, nothing else got borked when we nuked it, so we can pop that on and get a refuel tank. I had to steal some fuel from the base specifically for the Malifor to take it out because it just had nothing. So we'll get some more ice. You know what I should do? I should probably mine a little bit more ice. That's gonna happen off screen. What we're actually gonna do is we're gonna go over to the dear old Malifor, or Elder Dagron, and we are gonna go for a jaunt. Do it this. I do want to check something real quick. Bobs. What do we got, Bobs? I'm thinking about setting this to grind to disable. I have so two questions. One about the build and repair. I wonder if I do grind to disable, and then I paint it pink, will it grind it all the way down because I'm using a grind color, or does it not do that? So we're gonna find it. We're gonna test that out, and hopefully we get to test that out on. You know what? Let's. Ooh, you see that? Don't turn your ship early, kids. Oh my God, this is too close to space to be operating at this junction. So we're gonna turn the bobs off entirely. We're gonna go check out this unknown signal because raisins. And I want to see if this grind color thing, if that does what I think it does. So we got fuel tank. That's good. I'm gonna hop into this view here and we're gonna check it out. Now, John was also mentioning, he said that the beautiful thing about the music is like 100 times louder than normal. The beautiful thing about the railguns versus the artillery is artillery leaves a puff of smoke when it fires and it blinds you, so you temporarily smoke screen yourself, and I guess the railguns don't do that. So he said that'll be a good added perk. So I'm excited to experience the perks of not losing. What else do we got? Oh, and then yeah, Chad said that I was warned dutifully about the what do you call it? About not having enough iron, cobalt, or enough cobalt and gold and platinum and uranium and all those things, or Ukrainium, as Lord Chaos might like to say. That I was warned about that, and then I forgot the most important element of all, and that's iron, and I totally did. I cannot. I mean, I can believe I ran out of iron. Like that shouldn't be even remotely surprising, but here we are. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn off. It's hard to. I know 100 meters, but 100 meters from me versus 100 meters from the front of the ship, very different elements there. So let's take a look. Let's turn off. Let's just take a look. Let's just go see. That's a loud beeping noise. Before I let Bob have his way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press the button so that I get the credit, because Bob can't press the button for me. And if that's not cool, nothing. That's why I was hoping I would get nothing. That's like when I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I hope nothing comes from this. All right, so let's do a little Bobby Bob. Turn the boys on, and let's see. They are grinding to hack, so this is disabling everything. Okay, it looks like we're fully disabled. Okay, so now If I do painter pink, ba will Bob take the rest of it? Hey, look at that. Maybe. So yes, the answer is yes. It's slower than I would have expected. That's interesting. All right, cool. So that's kind of what I want to know, because the reason is I feel like when I have them just set to grind everything down, the problem that comes across with that is what happens naturally is that Bob just eats the whole thing before I can even get a chance to look at the loot. And so, yeah, that's kind of what it is. I know we saw last time, we saw a sprite Mayday, but I don't, for the life of me, have any directional coherence of where that might have been, where that might have occurred. So, I don't know. We can just float in a direction and see what we come up with. I figure one little encounter while we wait for the ship to be built and stuff to be processed, that might be a good idea. I actually might, I was thinking I could come back to this episode and I could record a little bit tomorrow. Right now I only have Chad and John as the first commenters of the video. Um, that's not unusual, but sometimes Lord Chaos is pretty on point, and then other times Clyde chimes in. So I always like to give the most opportunities that I can engage with you guys. What do we got in the distance? Anything fun? The other thing Clyde mentioned is that the reason I wasn't getting a circle reticle or that I couldn't lock onto a drifting piece of garbage was because it was through the camera. And I had thought that I tested that because I was like, oh man, when I am looking through the camera, I can't inertial dampen to an object. And it turns out that may still be true, but then I was able to do it one time. I was looking through the camera, I pointed at something, I was within 80 meters or so, and it was like, oh, you're dampened to this object. And I was like, cool, it worked. And then every other time it's not worked, so I don't really know what that's about, if I'm being honest. I know we're just patrolling near our home, which doesn't make it a lot of sense. I had an idea about maybe making the Elder Dagron a drone, but this is a lot of hardware to lose to a one-off drone colliding into an asteroid because it's dumb. That's what my fear is, that it'll just murder itself unintentionally. Some other stuff that I think John talked about that I didn't really think about, like by having all the guns on the no-name ship on top and all of the decoys on bottom, it's going to make all of the fire come in from the top. Let's get a screenshot. You can see the base in the background, all the cool stuff. It's going to make the fire come in from the top to get to the decoys on the bottom. They're going to have to go through the ship, which is not ideal when you're trying not to get murdered. So I don't know if I'm going to add some more. I also don't know if I'm going to build drones. Part of me, I feel like I see something. Nope, I don't. Yeah, so there's all that. And now Space Engineers is saved. I'm not crashing. I don't know what's causing it. I'm not doing anything crazy in the background. I mean, I've got OBS running. That's what records for us. And I have comments section up and then email. But resource-wise, the computer is hunky-dory and it seems to be very angry. So this one may just be a quick talking head, guys. We may actually head back to the base and maybe do a little extra ice mining, and then I might record a sign out, and then if nothing else happens, well, then I'll have a sign out recorded. And if something else happens, I can get the old magic man on the edity boop boop bop buttons to get us fixed. Not fixed in that way. We don't want to, not that kind of fixed. Always remember to spade neuter your pets, I guess. Thanks, Bob Barker, for drilling that into my head. I think now Jim Carrey does it. Does he also spade neuter pets? Not him personally. He probably doesn't do it himself. I wouldn't think. Maybe he does. I don't know. Side gig, side hustle. Spading and neutering people's pets. Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know there was a minimum jump distance. Night. Alright, well, I'll see you when we get back to base. How very nerve-wracking this is. Because I have such behemoth ships. I'm gonna go in nice and slow, dampers off. Just get to the spot. Just upwards, attitude. Drifting too much, overcorrection. Okay, we are hung on something. Let's see what that might be. Okay, we need to tilt that way a little bit. We are coming back. We have proximity, lots of sparks. We are locked on. Beautiful. What is happening? Why am I up here? There we go. So I fall out of the ship onto the thing. This is too much. That's too close for me. So we're making progress, making copies. All right. You know what? Yeah. So we're gonna splice in some mining stuff. I'm gonna check some editing, and then we'll see if something more neat needs to happen here in a second. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. And yeah, let's get back to let's go do that. Let's get some more ice on board. Maybe we can create some more memories while all this is processing. And that's the big thing, is that we gotta wait for it to process, and that is never fun. There we go. Get some more ice mining out of the way. Come on, door. You know, waiting for this to close or open instead of pressing the timer and then getting in the cockpit, that may be a slight flaw to the system, but that's okay. I'm gonna clear out some more ice right down there behind by the belly pan of this thing where the barnacle attaches, the grabbin barnacle, the barnacle grabbin. What did John said it was more like a remora stuck to it? There's a funny local comedian that used to have a skit or a joke about talking about pilot fish, like always being on sharks and stuff. And like the other pilot fish would be like, "What the hell are you doing, Frank?" And he's like, "I'm flying this shark." And I don't know why it made me laugh. So maybe that's the grabbin's technically the Elder Dagron's pilot fish that then got ran over. Let's see, pilot fish. You get too close to the opening of the danger zone, and you know the danger zone. So let's get some more ice carved away. Make some extra room for the boys. We're gonna have to ultimately build a home for the no name. Or the Elder Dagron's Revenge, as Chad referred to it. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe we build just an extra hole. I don't know. Alright, let's get some more ice done, and then I'll pick you up here in a second. Ooh, Death Voxel. Alright, folks, with that, like there's an unknown signal. Let's go investigate. Oh, miner tinder. Wait, armed mining tinder. So it's just armed and a mining tinder. I'm not looking to pirate random people. They're not enemies, unlike the enlightened god. The potentiality is very high. So I'm not looking to start a fight. We're gonna go get this unknown signal, and then I think we're gonna call it, man. I don't know if there's a reason to not call it currently. Oh, don't do that. Don't start this crap. Dang it. Gotcha. I didn't find anything. You don't say. You never know when you're gonna need a parachute in space. Where the? There we are. That way. Follow that path. Yeah, this was an uneventful one. Not a bad one, but I had to get some resources, and I wanted to get something on film. So, on film. Yep, go ahead, roll that tape. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Let's go ahead and save. Again, I know that's like the 5th time in this episode, but it's just that weird crashing's got me a little leery. A little bit worried. If you know what I am, that's a terrible Scottish. Is that Scottish? I don't know. That's a terrible accent, whatever kind of accent it is. I don't really have where I'm from. Doesn't really have a colloquial accent that I'm aware of. And then where I grew up most of my life probably also doesn't really have an accent. Well, no, it does. It has a super deep accent. But I'm not worried about that accent because I don't. Oh, partake. I just nearly hurt myself. Hurt myself. All right, let's get in here. I think we're doing pretty good, man. This is making tons of racket. We're cooking. We're doing work. Let's see. Maybe we go say goodbye near our new fangled dangled ship. Ship in the background. We'll just plop down right here. Press that button there. Look back. Look at the beauty, the awe. All right, guys. It's probably a weird short one. Maybe it isn't. I don't actually know. We'll see what's spliced in before this. You let me know, Magic Editor Man, if I did it right. If I didn't, you'll see it here first. Guys, thanks for tagging along. This thing's getting done. I think the next episode, because I'm not going to be resource hunting, is going to be the Elder Dagron, doing a couple of more bullying missions, as we call it. And then, yeah, the next step after that is to go bloody the nose of hopefully some weak minor factorum people. That's the goal. All right, let's see if we could wave. We can't, but that's not surprising to anybody. Guys, if you enjoyed this, you know what to do. All the little beep beep buttons, things like that. Leave a comment down below. I really appreciate you guys, and I will catch you later, taters. And as always, be kind. Bye.